The world is a very peaceful place. If you and me were not here. Hello? Yes or no?
Yes.
If you and me were not here on this planet, it is a very peaceful place. People think they have to create peace. No, you can only create conflict. You can create violence. You cannot create peace. If you don't mess with anything, it's peaceful. If you don't do anything, it's peaceful. So peace is not an idea. Peace is not a philosophy. Peace is not a consequence of human action. If human beings know how to minimize their action, there is peace. Right now, human beings are in a compulsive state of action. They have to do something not because it's needed, simply because they have to do it. They just have to do it because they can't sit in one place. So essentially, all the violence that you see, conflict that you see on the planet is a consequence of human inability to just remain still by themselves.
Yes.
Man is ill only because he does not know how to be still. If you knew how to sit still, where would violence be in the world? So 20th century saw some horrid levels of violence. Well, there has been violence on this planet forever. But 20th century got more organized than ever before. In the form of World War I and II, the most horrific situations happened. In early 20th century, they declared blood moves the wheels of history. But by the time we came to mid-20th century, Mahatma created a movement where it's not the blood, which is the spirit which moves the wheels of history. This is a significant change. That instead of blood moving the wheels of history, human spirit moves the wheels of history is of phenomenal significance. In many ways, I would say, it is only after Mahatma's movement democracies on the planet have become true democracies, reasonably at least.
January 30th, 1948. 3 bullets, 1 old man falls. The man who killed him was not a foreigner. He was not a British soldier. He was not a Muslim terrorist. He was a Hindu, a Brahmin, an educated man. Why? Why would a Hindu kill the greatest Hindu leader of this century? We are taught in schools that Nathuram Godse was a madman, a fanatic. But there is a question that nobody asks you to think about. If he was just a madman, why did millions of people silently agree with him back then? Why did people distribute sweets in some parts of India when Gandhi died? Because they believed something very specific. They believed that Mahatma Gandhi had betrayed them. They believed that in his obsession with Hindu-Muslim unity, he had actually started supporting Muslims against Hindus. Was this true? Or is it the biggest lie in Indian history? Today, let's dig out the files. Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the speeches that history books deleted. Because the answer is not what you think. To understand this, we have to travel back to 1919. This is where the first crack appeared. Imagine you are fighting for India's freedom. You want the British out. But suddenly, Gandhi started a movement for Turkey. Yes, for Turkey. This was the Caliphate movement. The Muslims of India were angry because the British were removing the Caliph or religious king in Turkey. It had nothing to do with India. It had nothing to do with our freedom. But Gandhi saw a golden opportunity. His logic was simple. He thought if Hindus support Muslims in their religious issue, then Muslims will support Hindus in the fight of independence. Sounds good, right? A deal. But many leaders warned him. They said, Mr. Gandhi, do not mix religion with politics. It is dangerous. But Gandhi did not listen. He supported the Caliphate movement with full force. He told Hindus to join it. And what was the result? Did we get unity? No. We got the Mopla regards. In 1921, in the Malabar region of Kerala, the Caliphate agitation turned violent. But it did not turn against the British, it turned against the local Hindus. The Mopla rebellion, thousands of Hindus were killed. Temples were destroyed. Forcefully conversions happened on a mass scale. It was a massacre. Now hold your breath tight. How did Gandhi react? Did he condemn the killers? Did he demand justice for the victims? Here is what he said. He called the Mafla Muslims brave and God-fearing. He said they were fighting for what they believed was their religion. And then he said something that became the root of all the anger against him. He wrote in his journal Young India in 1924. Listen to these words carefully. He said, the Musalman as a rule is a bully and the Hindu as a rule is a coward. Think about that. The Hindu is a coward. Gandhi believed that because Hindu were the majority, they had to be the bigger person. He believed that if a Muslim attacks a Hindu, Hindu should not attack back. A Hindu should show love. A Hindu should die if necessary, but not kill. He called this non-violence. But to many people like Godse, this did not look like a non-violence. It looked like a surrender. The philosophy that the majority must always sacrifice for the minority became the pattern for the next 20 years. Every time there was a riot, Gandhi would fast. But notice when he fasted. Let's look at 1946, the year of blood. In August 1946, the Muslim League announced Direct Action Day in Kolkata. They wanted Pakistan and they said they would take it by force. Result? The great Calcutta killings. Thousands died, mostly Hindus in the first 48 hours. Then the violence spread to Noakhali in East Bengal. In Noakhali, the Hindu minority was crushed. Women were attacked. Houses burned. Gandhi went there. Yes, he did. He walked barefoot. He preached peace. But he did not go on a fast unto death to stop the Muslim League leaders. He simply walked. But then the news reached Bihar. In Bihar, Hindus were the majority and they were angry about what happened in Noakhali. So they retailed. The Bihar riots began and Muslims were killed. Now watch the difference. The moment Gandhi heard that Hindus were killing Muslims in Bihar, he declared he would fast unto death. He told the Congress government, bomb the Hindus if you have to. But stop this. Do you see the double standard that people felt? When Hindus were dying in Noakhali, he appealed to the heart. When Muslims were dying in Bihar, he threatened to die. This made people ask, is he our leader or their protector? But the final straw the moment that actually pulled the trigger of the gun came in January 1948. The issue of 55 crore rupees. It is 1947. Partition has happened. Pakistan has invaded Kashmir. Indian soldiers are dying on the border. It is a state of war. At this exact moment, there was a financial dispute. According to the partition rules, India owed Pakistan 55 crore rupees, a balance payment, but Sardar Patel, the Home Minister, said, "No." He said, "We are at war. If you give them this money now, they will use it to buy bullets to kill our own soldiers in Kashmir. We will pay them after the war ends." It was logical, right? It was practical also. Every sensible person agreed with Patel, but Gandhi did not. Gandhi said, "A promise is a promise." He said, "It does not matter if they are attacking us. We must be moral. We must be honest." He announced a fast unto death. He said he would not eat until communal amity was restored. But everyone knew what the pressure was really for. But the government was terrified. If Gandhi dies on our watch, the country will burn. So they gave in. Sardar Patel was furious. He had to sign the check. India transferred 55 crore rupees to Pakistan when Pakistan was bombing Indian villages. For Nathuram Godse and for millions of refugees who had lost their homes, this was a madness. They felt, this man is not a saint. He is a danger to the nation's survival. Days later, Godse walked up to him at the prayer ground. He bowed down to show respect to the father, and then he shot the politician. So, did Gandhi support Muslims against Hindus? The answer is no and yes. He did not hate Hindus. He loved Hinduism. He died with the name of Ram on his lips. But his version of Hinduism was extreme. He believed that a Hindu should be willing to die rather than fight. He believed the majority has a moral burden that the majority does not have. He expected Hindus to be saints, while he accepted others were just humans. He held Hindus to a standard that was impossible to meet. In the end, Gandhi was an idealistic in a world of walls. He thought his love would change the enemy's heart, but history shows that sometimes where you are trying to change the enemy's heart, the enemy cuts off your head. Many Hindus felt that Gandhi was ready to sacrifice their heads to save his own moral principles. And that feeling, that deep sense of unfairness is what created the bullet that killed him. What do you think? Was Gandhi's 55 crore decision an act of great morality, or was it a suicidal mistake? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this analysis balanced, share it, because history never black and white. It is grey. See you in the next video.